All right, this is a kind of off the subject. All right, but it still ties. But basically, I counterinsurgency doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? And neither do proxy wars. Okay, just the very nature of them lends itself to not having the will of the people. It essentially implies you don't have the will of the people. If you use a proxy to fight a war, that usually tends to mean that you can't physically go there and prosecute that war because nobody A approves the shit, B invited you into this conflict, or C wants to see you involved. You know what I'm saying? And the other aspect of it, as far as just the pure counterinsurgency for, like, say you have an insurgency, whatever, you can't fight an insurgency because the whole basis of why you have an insurgency is because the people are discontented, right? Now, i.e., you don't have the will of the people, so politically you've already lost. And you never want to fight a battle or war that politically you're losing. The battles and wars are to decide politics. You see what I'm saying? Not politics don't decide wars. You see what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? Like, if you already lost the war politically, you've lost the war completely. If you're getting into a conflict, it makes sense. It only makes sense when politically decision has been made. Like let's take, for instance, right, where we have a scenario, right? Warrior Tribe A wants to fight Warrior Tribe B, right? And as long as Tribe A has a legitimate gripe, the people of side B will understand if side A wins. But if side A starts off not having a legitimate gripe and then finds a legitimate gripe or manufactures a legitimate gripe, the people of side B are like, we will fight these people to every last man. That's essentially what creates a fucking insurgency, is the idea that the general public doesn't believe you have a legitimate gripe. That point is simple. And you can essentially, it doesn't have to be full-on conflicts. This can be just your own personal family shit, right? Like, say you got beef with somebody that you don't like, right? And then that person is like, oh, screw you. You know what I mean? But the people on their side are going to what? They're going to ask you what the gripe is. Right? And from there, that's where the allies and everything else will decide whether or not they agree or disagree and choose a side of the conflict. Almost like a market, right? Where this all ties in. If you feel that this side is more profitable, you know what I mean, is more where the market is going, then you're on that side. If you're not, you're on the other side. But if you don't, markets are disjointed. The war is disjointed. You have a situation where the feelings ebb and flow depending on who you're asking. And from that point, it never ends. You're in constant conflict. One side is always winning at some point and always losing at some point. And the wins and the ebbs and flows are huge. But the problem is, when you're talking about large-scale wars, is these are dead people.